Hey guys, I want to quickly announce my new sponsor, Crunchyroll. I personally love watching anime, and if you do as well, Crunchyroll is a great place to do it. I'll have a link down below where you can do a 30-day trial to watch anime in the highest quality. But on to the video. Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you all to a new Did You Know episode. This one was a little difficult to make just because I had to stare at so many pictures of spiders, and I honestly hate spiders. So if you did enjoy, definitely hit the like button, it helps me a lot. But let's go right into the abilities. If Elise is out of spiderlings and then she dies, she automatically respawns with the maximum amount of spiders that you can have thanks to your ultimate. Nothing completely major, but definitely something to keep in mind. But speaking of her spiderlings, for every ability you land on an enemy, you gain 1 stack that goes towards summoning a spiderling when you go into the spider form. But did you know that if you hit multiple people with your human W, it will actually not give you more than just simply 1 charge for a spiderling? So it's not how many people you hit, it's how many of your spells actually hit a target. When Elise uses her Q in spider form, not only does it do a lot of damage, but it forces her spiderlings to simply jump at the target too, and also prioritize that target. An interesting interaction that I personally never knew was the fact that your Q in spider form also forces your W spider that you summon in human form to jump on your target as well. Elise's Q ability in spider form, though being categorized as a dash, will not let her dash over walls even if the ability does connect with the target over the wall, like the cinch for instance. However, on the flip side, her spiderlings will simply dash right through the wall and onto the target. Elise's human W has 2 forms of interactions, the first of which being it goes to the target location at which you used it on, and the second one being if no one is near, it sits and waits for a target to present itself before homing in on them. And going off of what I just mentioned, her human W also prioritizes champions over minions or monsters. So if you're ever playing that mid lane AP Elise, this is something definitely to keep in mind. Unlike a champion such as Jace, Elise cannot use her W in spider form for the extra attack speed, revert back to human form while still having the buff, and still maintain the speed, as it automatically removes it. Elise's W will be blocked by Braum since he is still treated as a champion, however it will go right through Yasuo's wind wall, which unfortunately I cannot show in the video, since Yasuo is disabled on the live servers, but Elise on the other hand is actually disabled on the PvE. Spell Shield will block Elise's human and spider Q, her human W ability, and also her cocoon. Did you know that Elise can use her E ability in spider form Repel to use it even on enemy wards, but not allied wards since you cannot attack them? And if you cast this ability on a champion initially, it forces Elise to descend the instant she ascends, so unless chasing, make sure to use your E ability without clicking on an enemy. Elise gains bonus damage from her ultimate when she's in spider form on top of a heal per auto attack, which neither apply to structures, though her spiderlings can still hit the structures, being quite a huge plus. Unfortunately, transforming between both forms, her human and spider form, though technically being kind of a spell, is not really treated as such for items like Tear of the Goddess or Sheen. Alright guys, let's go into some cool facts and lore about Elise. Elise had 2 designers working on her, namely Coronac, who created champions such as Katarina, Udyr, and LeBlanc, along with Medler, who designed Varus, Syndra, Ziggs, and more. The voice actress for Elise is named Karen Strassman, who has voiced many other League of Legends champions such as Cassiopeia, Fiora, Shyvana, and Zyra. 3 years ago, while Elise was still in the development stage, her name back then was Priscilla the Spider Queen, and her looks were much different, almost like a female ergot. Her name, Elise, is short for Elizabeth, which apparently is the Greek translation of the Hebrew name Elisheva, which roughly means God's promise, and this may refer to her lore. And from that, let's already jump into her lore to further understand why. Her lore describes her as someone who lures innocent and greedy alike into her web of deceit, which no one has so far lived to tell the tale of what happens then on forth. But what she ends up doing is sacrificing them for favor from the spider god, who we now know to be Vilema. And it is how she seems to maintain her power and youth. It then goes on to tell a story of how she led her most devout disciples on a journey after they pled her for the god's favor as well. After agreeing to lead them to the god's shrine, as they finally ended up reaching the Shadow Isles, she trapped them within the cave, and after a very loud screech that Elise performed, a huge undead spider beast emerged, ate them alive, and Elise then drank its venom. This is how she keeps her immortality, and then she returned to the rest of her disciples, telling them how the others remained with the spider god in his lair, and how she will lead the rest of them there soon as well. The Twisted Treeline map having been inspired by Elise's lore and having Vilma as the boss, much like the Baron is the boss of Summoner's Rift, also has specific quotes towards Elise when capturing either of the two shrines.
Your power is not worth the price, Elise.
The spider welcomes you, Elise.
As other things within League, it seems like Elise's spider form may have been inspired from Dota's Broodmother hero. There are many champions now that have pets such as Mordekaiser, Shaco, LeBlanc, but Elise has the most controlled pets in the game, maxing out at 5. A resemblance is evident between Elise and Lolth from the Forgotten Realms, who can also go between human and spider forms. But it is highly possible for her human form appearance to be inspired by Black Arachnia from Transformers. Elise's recall in spider form could resemble the way the Skulltulas hang from one of the best games ever made and one of my personal favorites, Zelda Ocarina of Time. She is the 4th champion now to be able to use her ultimate from level 1, the others being Karma, Nidalee, and Jace. And on top of that, she is the 5th champion to be able to transform into seemingly another being, next to Nidalee, Shyvana, Swain, Quinn, and Zyra, yet out of those is only one of the 3 that can transform pre-level 6 along with Zyra and Nidalee. But since I know most people will be asking this, she is among many champions to have more than 4 abilities with different forms, along with Nidalee, Lee Sin, Jace, Gnar, Rek'Sai, and technically Quinn. And lastly, she's one of 5 champions to be labeled as a ranged and melee champion along with Kayle, Quinn, Nidalee, and Jace. Elise and Cho'Gath share a quote.
Ah, the tangled webs we weave.
The tangled webs we weave.
She also shares a quote that is similar to Evelyn's and Fiddlesticks.
I can feel their fear. I can smell their fear.
I feel your fear.
Classic Elise is believed to be more or less designed based off of the Black Widow spider with the red and black theme, showing off the deadly female characters. Death Blossom Elise is based off of the crab spider species and or the Spider Queen from Okami. Blood Moon Elise most likely got inspired by the Jorogumo of Japanese folklore that is about a beautiful woman who seduces men to only turn into a spider and consume them. She also shares this amazing skin theme with Akali, Callista, Shen, Zillion, and Thresh. In Elise's lore, it states that LeBlanc is an ally of Elise, which can suggest that Elise may have worked for the Black Rose at some point. But that unfortunately is it for this episode of the Did You Know series, guys. If you did enjoy it, definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and check out the other videos from this series and my channel as well. And also don't forget to check out the Crunchyroll link down below that I have as well if you love watching anime. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!